You know the feeling. It's 10:30 p.m. on a Tuesday. You're sitting 3 feet apart, but it feels like 3 miles. You glance over at them. They're scrolling through their phone, thumb swiping up. Swipe, swipe, swipe. And suddenly a cold wave hits your chest. Not anger, not even sadness yet. Just absence. You realize you haven't truly seen each other in weeks, maybe months. And here is the voice in your head right now. Be honest with me. Is this what love is supposed to feel like? Did I choose the wrong person? Am I asking for too much? Or have they just stopped caring entirely? You feel crazy for wanting more. So you stay quiet. You shrink. You wait for them to come back to you. But they don't. Here is the truth that nobody tells you. The distance between you isn't happening because your love has faded. It's happening because your safety has disappeared. You aren't drifting apart because you're incompatible. You're drifting because one of you is screaming for connection, and the other is screaming for space, and neither of you knows how to hear the other. You are not failing at love. This is not a sign that you chose the wrong person. Every couple who has ever loved deeply has stood exactly where you are standing right now. But there is a line, a specific moment in avoidant relationships where the drift becomes a divide, where needing space turns into emotional abandonment. By the end of this video, you will know exactly where that line is. You will understand why your partner pulls away when you lean in. And more importantly, you will learn how to step back from the edge before it's too late. Let's get into it. Most couples believe that if they just communicated better, if they had the right argument or scheduled the right date night, the distance would close. They think the problem is a lack of effort. But the real truth is much deeper. When safety leaves a relationship, the love doesn't disappear. It goes underground. Your partner's nervous system is reading you long before their mind can catch up. What looks like stonewalling? What looks like coldness or indifference? It is usually someone who has been so emotionally overwhelmed for so long that silence is the only protection they have left. And on the other side, your anxiety isn't neediness. It's your body's alarm system sensing that the bond is breaking. This isn't about who is right and who is wrong. It's about the anxious avoidant trap. One partner chases closeness to feel safe. The other chases distance to feel safe. And the harder you chase, the faster they run. The faster they run, the harder you chase. It's a cycle, and until you understand the biology beneath the behavior, you will keep trying to fix a psychological wound with logical arguments. It doesn't work. So, let's look at the 5 specific signs that you are approaching the point of no return, and how to stop it. Number 1. The silent scorecard. Most people in relationships keep a mental ledger of who did what. Who texted first? Who apologized last? Who initiated intimacy? But here's the part no one talks about. In an avoidant dynamic, this scorecard isn't about fairness. It's about protection. The avoidant partner keeps score to justify their withdrawal. The anxious partner keeps score to prove their worth. Here is the deeper truth. Keeping score is a way to avoid vulnerability. If you're counting points, you don't have to feel the pain of rejection. You just have to be right. Let's look at the difference. The disconnecting version. You send a text. No reply for 6 hours. You think, they're ignoring me. I won't text them again until they apologize. I'm done trying. Your partner thinks, they're demanding my attention. I need to retreat to feel like myself. The connecting version. You feel the panic rise, but instead of keeping score, you name the feeling. You say, "Hey, when I don't hear from you, my brain starts telling me I'm not important. I'm not trying to control you. I just miss you." Your partner hears, "She's not attacking me. She's sharing her fear." Something in him says, "I don't need to defend myself. I can just reassure her." And when you drop the scorecard, the walls between you start to come down, without either of you having to win an argument. That's the shift that turns a relationship that feels like a negotiation into one that feels like a refuge. Number 2, the pursuit-withdrawal cycle. Most couples think this cycle is about personality. He's just introverted. She's just dramatic. But this is where it gets really interesting. This isn't personality. It's physiology. When you pursue, your partner's nervous system registers it as a threat to their autonomy. Their amygdala fires. They shut down to survive. When they withdraw, your nervous system registers it as a threat to your attachment. Your amygdala fires. You escalate to survive. Not louder conversations, not more compromising, not scheduling a weekly check-in, but two people who actually feel safe enough to be honest about their triggers for the first time in years. Here is the contrast. The disconnecting version. You sense them pulling away. You ask, "What's wrong? Why are you being so quiet?" They say, "Nothing, I'm fine." You push, "No, you're not. Talk to me." They walk out of the room. The connecting version. You sense them pulling away. You pause. You recognize your own urge to chase. You say, "I notice you getting quiet. I'm going to give you some space to recharge. I'll be in the other room if you want to connect later." Your partner's brain quietly registers, "She respects my boundary. I don't need to run." What's moving through him is, "I can come back to her on my own terms." That's when your partner stops feeling like a problem to manage and starts feeling like a person to come home to. And that is the beginning of real safety. Number 3, the loss of curiosity. Most people in long-term relationships stop asking questions. They assume they already know the answer. He's just tired. She's just stressed about work. But here's what nobody explains. Curiosity is the antidote to judgment. When you stop being curious, you start making assumptions. And assumptions are almost always negative. Emotional distance in a relationship isn't like a wall. It's like scar tissue that forms slowly over 100 small moments that never got repaired. Each unasked question is a layer of scar tissue. Let's see how this plays out. The disconnecting version. Your partner comes home late. You think, "They don't care about our time together." You greet them with silence or sarcasm. They feel attacked. They withdraw further. The connecting version. Your partner comes home late. You feel the sting of rejection, but you choose curiosity. You ask, "Long day? What was the hardest part of it for you?" Her brain is quietly registering, "He actually wants to know my experience, not just judge my timing." What's moving through her is, "I forgot how good it feels to be chosen." And when you replace assumption with curiosity, you invite your partner back into the relationship. You show them that you are still interested in who they are becoming, not just who they were when you met. Number 4, the absence of repair. Most couples believe that healthy relationships don't have conflict, so when they fight, they panic. They think, "This is it. We're broken." But the research is clear. It's not the conflict that destroys relationships, it's the failure to repair. In avoidant dynamics, repair is terrifying. For the avoidant partner, apologizing feels like admitting defeat. For the anxious partner, accepting an apology feels like letting them off the hook too easily. Your nervous system in a conflict is like a smoke detector. It cannot tell the difference between your partner raising their voice and actual danger. So it sounds the alarm regardless. Repair is the button that turns off the alarm. Here is the shift. The disconnecting version. You argue. Hours pass. Days pass. You pretend it didn't happen. You move on, but the resentment stays. It accumulates. The connecting version. You argue. The energy is high. One of you says, "I'm flooded. I need 20 minutes, but I promise I will come back to this." You take the break. You return. You say, "I'm sorry I raised my voice. I was scared. Can we try again?" Something in him is saying, "She doesn't need me to fix this. She just needs me to stay." And something in you says, "We can survive this." That's the shift that turns a relationship that feels like a battlefield into one that feels like a team. Because repair isn't about being perfect. It's about proving that the bond is stronger than the breach. Number 5. The fear of being known. This is the deepest point, the one most couples never figure out. Avoidant partners don't pull away because they don't love you. They pull away because intimacy feels like engulfment. Being fully known feels like being trapped. And anxious partners don't chase because they are weak. They chase because being unknown feels like being abandoned. And here's what changes everything. Real intimacy isn't built in the big moments. It's built in the 30-second ones, when you choose to look up. When you choose to stay present even when it's uncomfortable. Let's look at the final contrast. The disconnecting version. You share a vulnerable feeling. Your partner minimizes it. You're overthinking it. You feel shame. You stop sharing. The relationship becomes superficial. The connecting version. You share a vulnerable feeling. I've been feeling really insecure about us lately. Your partner listens. They don't fix it. They don't dismiss it. They say, "Thank you for telling me. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere." What's moving through her is, "I am safe here. I can be real." And what's moving through him is, "I can handle her emotions. I am strong enough for this." And when you create that safety, the avoidant partner stops running. Because they realize that being known doesn't mean being consumed. It means being held. Listen to me closely. This isn't a checklist. It's an invitation to show up differently. When you internalize this, you stop reacting and start responding. You stop seeing your partner's withdrawal as a rejection of you and start seeing it as a regulation of them. And your partner will feel the difference before you've even said a word. These aren't tips for a better relationship. They're the beginning of becoming the kind of partner you always wanted someone to be for you. You have the power to stop the drift. You have the power to build safety. But it starts with you. Real intimacy doesn't start when you find the right person. It starts when you decide to become one.